afternoon. Hello and welcome to today's session of Junior Achievement of New Jersey's Women's Future Leadership Academy. We are so excited to have a phenomenal, inspiring, empowering session today with some great featured speakers and mentors, and of course, you, the students. So welcome, everybody. So I always start my sessions with a little sound check. Just want to say, if you could hear me, please say hello in that chat room. Give me a little shout out, a little yes. Thank you so much, students. I appreciate that. I always get a little nervous, technology, but we are so happy that you've been joining us. So as always, we begin our sessions where we have our students and our mentors using the chat room. And then later on, we will move to the breakout sessions where everybody will be able to use their cameras and their microphones. But for now, we invite you to say hello in the chat room. Welcome, everybody. So students, volunteers, mentors, please feel free to find that chat room. You'll see the little icon at the bottom of your screen and say hello if you'd like to, your name and your school or your organization. Again, we are so happy to have you here. And just a big shout out to our sponsoring organizations who every week their support makes this program possible for everybody involved. So huge thanks to our partners, Santa Fe, ADP, AIG, Janssen, New Jersey Resources, Kearney Bank, CNBC, State Farm, Allstate, AmeriHealth, AT&T, CDW, Crow, Deloitte, Johnson & Johnson, L'Oreal, PSE&G, Realogy, Santander, Subaru, Valley Bank, and Lockheed Martin. Huge thanks to our partners and our sponsors who make this event possible week after week. Students, some upcoming sessions I'd like to notify you of. Our Academy continues through the end of June. We're hoping that you can join us. Next week, we have a really exciting session on June 22nd, hosted by an organization called Women in Securitization. This is a national organization, and we are going to have about 75 women mentors who are experts in the field of finance who are going to be joining us. So if you are interested in learning how you can empower yourself financially, or if you're interested in a career in finance, please feel free to join us on June 22nd for that session at 2 o'clock. The following week, we will wrap up the spring series with a double header hosted by our friends from Johnson & Johnson. We're running the session twice for those of you who have conflicting schedules. On Tuesday from 2 to 3, the 29th, and on Wednesday, the 30th, from 3 to 4. So please feel free to join us either of those days that are convenient for you, students. Again, we're going to be wrapping up the series by talking about how you can achieve your goals. Finally, if you'd like to earn your certificate of leadership, students, if you haven't done so already, we've given out some great certificates to some very deserving young women. All you have to do is attend 5 or more of our sessions and submit a final project to that email address right there. Your final project can be anything you want it to be. It should just reflect and capture your experience in the Women's Future Leadership Academy, what you've learned, how you've grown, or your goals for the future. It can be whatever format you want. Be creative, have fun with it. It's not graded, and there's no due date. If you've already submitted for your certificate of leadership, and you haven't heard back from us yet, please check in again. Sometimes things get lost in spam folders. We want to make sure that we don't miss your email. So if you're still waiting on that, please feel free to send us another note and remind us so we make sure that we did not land in a spam filter somehow. Finally, if you'd like to become a student ambassador for the Women's Future Leadership Academy, we would love to have you participate. It's open to all students who have received their certificate of leadership or are on track to do so. Details are on our program website, janjacademy.org. If you have any questions, you can shoot us an email right there at that email address as well. So today, we've got a great program today. We have 2 amazing featured speakers who are going to tell us about how to know our worth and how to be confident and ask for what we want and get what we want. Then we are going to move to the WebEx meeting, where I will post a link, and that is when we will be able to all use our cameras and microphones and go into those great breakout sessions with our fabulous mentors who have joined us. And then after that, we'll bring it all back together just before 3 for closing remarks. But without further ado, I would like to take a moment to say thank you and welcome our two featured career speakers. We have Diane Smith and Terry DeGrand from State Farm. Both have participated in our Women's Future Leadership Academy already, and we are so happy to have them join us and share their thoughts and experiences. And we will start with Diane, who's going to speak for a little while, and then we will move on to our friend Terry. So Diane, I will hand it off to you, and please welcome, and could you please introduce yourself and talk a little bit about what you do and the message that you'd like to share with our students. I think you're muted, Diane. See the mute button there?
Sorry. Here we go. Can you guys hear me now? Sorry about that. So
Yep.
thank you, Christy. I'm very excited to take part in today's session. As Christy stated, I am a State Farm agent here in the Bloomfield, New Jersey area. So I am a small business owner and entrepreneur. So I work really hard. So if that's something that you're wanting to potentially do, just know that you're going to have to put in lots of hours. But very excited about taking part in this particular session, particularly as it relates to owning your success. I felt a very personal connection to this specific topic because I used to find myself deflecting when someone would give me a simple compliment like, I love your earrings. And I would say, oh, these old things, or I would just completely bypass that they were saying or what they were saying. Because apparently I didn't feel worthy of receiving the compliment. And I remember a mentor in college who worked closely with me as I was completing my undergrad and working toward my master's program. And she would tell me how great I was doing in my studies and in my program. She would always encourage me to focus on how I should find personal successes that would actually help me make myself more marketable, particularly as I was seeking a career in the real world. One day she expressed that my accomplishments were leading me in the right path and in the direction that I really wanted to go. And she said that I was doing a stellar job at working and staying on task. And instead of me accepting her praises about my achievements, I would respond by saying, I'm not doing anything that other students aren't doing. And at that moment, she immediately said, stop it, just accept what I'm telling you. And I had to actually, kind of sit back, and I actually was a little stunned by what she had said in that particular moment. And I actually realized in that moment that I was minimizing my triumphs and I was actually deflecting. I never told her that this actually changed my mindset and attitude about accepting accepting compliments from others. This really stuck with me. And from that moment on, whenever anyone would give me a compliment, even if it was about my shoes or even if it was maybe about my hair or whatever, I would simply say, thank you. It took me some time, but I had to know that it was important to take those little tokens of admiration and build on them. Specifically, build on my confidence in who I was and who I would become. Many of us tend to focus on the failures in life and don't realize that most often our successes really do outweigh our personal disappointments. So we can be so hard on ourselves that when we do great things, we can't enjoy, the celebration or being able to celebrate in it. But instead, we draw ourselves down like a path of reasons of why we should not be proud of what we've accomplished. So learning to own my successes helped me to take charge of my life. It made me feel good about myself. It helped me to reflect on my mentor's words and allowed me to follow my own timeline of where I wanted to be in life. I always knew I wanted to own my own business one day, but I didn't know that it would be in the insurance industry as a State Farm agent. But I knew what I wanted, and I didn't stop underestimating my greatness. So as I journeyed through my career path, I had to remember that my successes were lots of things, whether it was something as small as holding the door open for someone or completing 2 master's programs. Successes may look different for everyone from day to day. And what I wanted to do, it didn't stop me at all. from what I was actually trying to accomplish. So again, those little successes, they look different for everyone from day to day, and certainly they are different to everyone. Success can simply mean being aware of your choices and decisions that you make, which may lead or have already led you to something phenomenal. That's actually going to continue to happen for you, or that will happen for you. I had to actually learn to trust in myself and believe that I was capable of success no matter what I faced, no matter what I went through. I had to just know that what I faced, it was going to get me through, and that I was going to continue to be successful. So we have to understand that achieving someone else's version of success, that's not going to make us happy or feel fulfilled. So if you realize your authentic version of success, this will guarantee your happiness and your fulfillment. So becoming self-aware and defining what success means to you is the first step in creating a life that makes you truly content with your life. So to ensure that you own your success, keep the emphasis on your hard work. Don't belittle other people or make them feel less about themselves. Always give credit where credit is due. Encourage others. Stick to the facts. If you don't know the facts, then don't even speak on it at all. Express gratitude. You don't have to add a qualifier like I used to do. Avoid the humble brag, when you want to boast but pretend to be modest about it. Like, my phone is so old and I'm embarrassed to take it with me in front of all the rich people I hang around with every day. And lastly, of course, everyone, we should just own our success. So own your success without sounding like the world revolves around you. So I hope that what I've shared will help you build your confidence in your specific abilities and push you to take the lead. Thank you.
Excellent, Diane. Thank you for such amazing words of wisdom. Certainly something for all of us to remember, to not underestimate our greatness. And I think we're all guilty of that humble brag every once in a while, right? So thank you so much for sharing your wisdom. And students, I saw a lot of great activity in the chat room. If you have any questions about any of the things that our speakers are talking about, when we go into our breakout sessions, you'll be able to ask your mentors those questions, because our mentors have some great information and some great success stories of their own that they can share with you as well. So thank you again, Diane. Happy to move on to our next speaker now, Terry DeGrand, also from State Farm. Just want to make sure, can everybody see my PowerPoint that I have on the screen? Everybody see that? Okay, excellent. Thank you. So again, Terry, welcome back to Junior Achievements Women's Future Leadership Academy. Thank you so much for joining us. Terry, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and then share what you wanted to say to the students?
Yeah, hi, good afternoon, everybody. I am here today with my summer intern. This is Isha, and Isha is a rising sophomore from Villanova, so I'd like to introduce her as well. I am a 34-year, I'd like to say, industry leader in within the insurance industry. I've been with State Farm Insurance for 27 years, and I am an woman entrepreneur for the last 11 years with State Farm, owning my own insurance agency. So I'm one of the, I don't know, 2 to 5% of women entrepreneurs here at State Farm. I'm very, very proud of that. So I am going to start with this video. It's called Sorry, Not Sorry. I think it's very pertinent and relevant to today's conversation, if you will.
All right, and I am going to attempt to share it here. Sometimes I have trouble with sound. If we're not able to hear the sound, please let me know and I will try something else.
Can't hear the sound, Christy. Mm.
All right, we having trouble with the sound?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry about that. See, I'm saying I'm sorry. So I'm going to play it again, and I know what the women are saying, so I'm just going to speak what they're saying for now. Sorry, can I ask a stupid question? Sorry, do you have a minute? Oh, sorry. Sorry. Oh, sorry. Here you go. Sorry. Sorry. I'm sorry. Sorry. Oh, wait, sorry. What were we going to say? Go ahead. I have a question. Good morning. Do you have a minute? Here you go. Sorry, not sorry. All right. Back to you.
All right. Thanks, Christy. So sorry, I am truly sorry that we couldn't really hear the audio on that. But what the video was trying to convey is that women typically, we always apologize. And why do we do that? We apologize, and you'll see in the video, exactly, I think Aaliyah was trying to say it's a habit. But we apologize, right? We're going for the same door at the same time as a gentleman. Do gentlemen apologize when they're going for the same door? Do we apologize when we're putting our arms on the same armchair in the middle of an airplane, and the gentleman gets there first and we pull our arms back, right? We always apologize. In the middle of that boardroom, you saw the woman who was about to speak, and what you couldn't hear was she was apologizing because she had something really important to say, and she says, you know what, I'm sorry, I have something to say. But why do we do that? Yes, it's a habit, but you'll never hear a gentleman or a man apologize because they have something important to say. So what I wanted to get to convey, you're right, Aaliyah, it's almost that it's expected of us. But we need to have the confidence. And what I learned throughout my career here is, and if you can, Christy, if you can just switch to the next screen, just have the confidence to convey what you have to say is just as important, right? Strengths and weaknesses, and what makes something a strength. It's not necessarily what you're good at, but alternatively, weakness is not necessarily what you're bad at. You might have something that you really hate doing, even if you're really, really good at it, but you do have the ability to do it. It just might be something that really drains you when you have to do it. So that's why we don't call it a strength. Women, when you're confident in your own abilities, you're really more willing to take the lead. So for example, you notice the changes that they made. Well, we really couldn't hear it, but you notice the changes that they made at the end of the video. So sorry for stealing the blankets, but I'm really sorry, not sorry. And for giving your husband the baby that's your baby, both your babies. Hold my baby, hold our baby. So one thing I noticed throughout my career is that we really tend to underestimate our own abilities, to attribute our own successes to either maybe we're being lucky, or we were getting help from one another. And maybe it's because we feel less self-assured, or we receive less credit for our own awards. But why don't we see that it's okay to celebrate in our own successes, or look for opportunities to praise ourselves instead of deflecting? And I think Diane said it best before. Saying thank you. If somebody says, you know what, your hair looks great today. I love your outfit. Why don't we just say thank you instead of saying, oh gosh, I'm having such a bad hair day, or I did it this morning. I was talking about something about how awful I looked at a shower this weekend. I was like, oh my God, I felt terrible. And the girls were like, I thought you looked great. And I was like, oh, I felt terrible. Just say thank you and move on and feel good about yourselves. But I think it's really important as you ladies and us as women moving on in our academic and future careers, it's really important that we never lose sight in what we're truly, truly capable of. Christy, if you could just switch to the next slide, please. Sometimes we're going to be told no, and we might be the least experienced people in the room, but guess what? We can't really grow if we're never challenged. Take those challenges head on and be confident, be strong, and persevere with tenacity. It's really going to pay off in the long run. You're going to gain the respect from those around you. And you really have to advocate for yourself rather than relying on others to lead in the success. And if you know Chrissy Metz, she's an actress on the This Is Us television show. Because confidence is really trusting in yourself, right? It has nothing to do with someone else, what someone else thinks of you. It's really what you think of you. I think I'm going to leave you ladies with this, and let's move on to the rest of the program. Thank you, everybody. Have a great afternoon.
All right. Thank you so much, Terry. Fantastic words. And again, I apologize for the technology challenge there with the video. But certainly, I am so guilty about saying I'm sorry all the time. That's why I watched it like 5 times before I played it. And that's how I could memorize what everybody was saying, because I really need to practice that. And I think it is a habit, to what one of our wise students mentioned. So thank you, Terry and Diane, for sharing your wisdom with us. We really do appreciate